Well, hello friends. Welcome to another episode of Business Every Day. Today, we are belting. We are belting this thing, and we're going to see how that goes. I'm also going to do the controller module in this episode, and at that point, we will be ready to plug this thing into a computer and see if we can create something. Woo, I'm super excited. I've also decided that I cannot have this piece of machinery on my mobile workbench. It's just too big, and so I need to build something for this monstrosity, and I don't exactly know how that's going to look or where it's going to be in my shop, but I need to do that as well. Maybe not before the first carve, but certainly as we go on in this process. It needs a secure and stable platform as we go on. But belting, we have one super long belt that I assume we will be cutting and then stringing it through all of the thingies and the doohickeys and just all the stuff. So come along as we belt. Alright, after some thought and some research, so this is how it's going to go with the L bracket facing up. It's going to attach here. Now, on one side, it's only going to attach to the T-nut on the bottom, and then on the other side, it's going to attach on the T-nut on the bottom, and then also we have our 25 M25 or M5 times 25 tensioner screw. So there'll be one tensioner screw per belt, and it doesn't seem to matter which side it is. On the instructions it says put it on the right side, so I'm going to put it on the right side. But there are holes on each side, and so I was confused and thought I had some bolts that I was short, but in reality they give you options on either side, and so you only have 3 of these long ones. And yeah, that confused me for about 15 minutes here, because you would think that there would only be holes where you were going to put parts, but nope, there are holes everywhere. Okay. For the last hour, I've been trying to belt this machine, and it wasn't working, because what I found was that the stepper motor on the gantry and the pulleys, the guide pulleys, weren't aligned, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So there are the pulleys in the gantry, okay? The instructions have you to orient it in one way, and what you end up with is, if you can see, this one I just modified, that one is the original placement, okay? So you see how the one on the right is offset quite a bit? So when you put in the stepper motor, let's see if I can do this one-handed. Okay, look, the left side is aligned and the right side is off by like 1/4 of an inch, and so you have to swap the bearing to the opposite side. So the inner side goes towards the back away from the spindle, and the outer side, yeah, points the opposite way, if that made any sense. All you need to do is make sure that before your gantry is fully installed, is make sure that the belt pulleys align with the spindle motor. I didn't do that because I assumed the instructions were right, and they're not. So, I had to be a little creative to figure out this whole thing. I even had to... This little tool, it's a socket that I ground down that I could grab with a 10mm, because the only way to get in there is with a very, very tiny tool. And so I had to make one, because with the nylon nuts, they just spin. So I got one more to do, and then hopefully get this stepper motor figured out. But it's currently 2:30 in the morning, and I'm tired, and this thing was already supposed to be running by now. But what can you do? So I'm gonna get this thing put back together. And we'll go from there. Oh man, what a long process, but finally got it. And if you can see in there, everything is straight and aligned. It took quite a bit of doing, but finally got the bearings in there correctly, and it is all running quite smoothly. It is not that much force is required to make this gantry move. So make sure you have all the washers, and yeah, again, make sure that the spindle and the pulleys are all aligned, which they now are. So let's try and belt this thing. But I had to do an extra washer just to get everything aligned perfectly. And I don't know if I just missed the extra washer or it's really there and not, or I don't know. It's working now. At least I think it is. And whew, I will get this belt put on and we'll see what happens. Well, the belt assembly is complete. So you got a front tensioner, or excuse me, front lock nut, and then the tensioners I put in the back. As you can see, the belt up here is running smooth. It goes under the pulleys. Might not be able to see. It goes over the motor, and so on and so forth. And it glides with some resistance, but I can feel that everything is locked in. So here's the sound. They said listen for a bass sound for all the belts. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it! It's actually complete. Oh man, it is actually complete. I still have the, well, I say complete, it still has the dust collection system that is yet to be complete. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if this thing will go rock and roll. We're about to give this machine its first go, and I'm super excited, a little scared. Maybe something will break or be uncalibrated, but we will give it a shot, so let's do this. The first cut has been made, y'all. And yeah, I just had to do it. But it did it. We didn't break anything. Hallelujah. I still gotta figure out how this Z probe works and everything else, but we made a cut. It did its thing. And we didn't break anything. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Woo! Okay. Now it just begins. Now we really go do stuff. Wow.